waiting for the next great idea from the career development team to come forward, and she'll put that letter in a contextual environment and then decide about how to get that message out to the world. So even though they wanted her to sign that letter and send it out as a statement, she knew that letter would fall on deaf ears without a context for it. So it's still there, it's still available, it can happen at the right time in a contextual leadership area. And that's what you can hold me accountable for. I am not just a gatekeeper. Some of your ideas have come, and I've been able to implement them. I've been able to fund them, and that's the way that will work. But we do need a central place so that voices doesn't bump into each other and other aspects of the university to facilitate that happening. And you've been great about that. The core team will continue to represent your needs directly to the president, your interest ideas, and it's important to understand that's a two-way dialogue. Those of you that were here last year remember the president saying that when she asked me to do this work, she was thinking I'd pick 10 people and she'd have an annual 1-hour meeting with them to have some discussion. She had no idea that it would create like this. So the executive officers do want a group that they can come to and have dialogue about, things that they're thinking about, that they want to test out on a public. So it's a two-way dialogue. The president will have ideas that she wants to bounce off. The development campaign, the Michigan Difference campaign, came to the core team and said we'd like to engage the staff in not a very demanding way, but make sure that they're part of the university Michigan Difference campaign. What are your ideas about that? Those ideas have been implemented by the Michigan Difference campaign, et cetera. So this is a two-way dialogue on issues that are important to the executive officers and those issues that matter most to us as staff. It says two-way communication, but what I've learned is it's multidimensional. It requires more than just two ways. It is a dialogue back and forth between the interest of the university leadership and the interest of the staff. So we're accountable to help the university advance some of its interest at the top leadership level, as well as advancing our interest on the issues that matter most to staff. You have already begun to make it work, and we're going to have opportunities to make it work in an even richer and broader way. These are the voices of the staff. I hope you see yourself in the teams, and those of you that are joining us for the first time, we absolutely welcome you on this journey. It is now time then to prepare to move into the reports that are on your tables as it relates to our inaugural year. There is a survey at the back of that annual report, and so I just wanted to make sure you know what's in your reports, that you look at the table of contents where we've described some of the work that you've done. We've tried to capture all of the experiences that really matter to voices as we continue on this journey. In the back of that document is the survey that you participated in. It is very important that voices be recognized as an employee engagement strategy, that when we include the voice, we enrich the outcome, and we're trying to measure how well we're doing on that journey. You will come back after your break, and you'll be led in an overview of the results of that survey by two of our project team members who will work you through that. And then we're going to ask you to work at the table for what you respond to. What do you see in that survey? And we're going to ask you about what should we most work on in the next year. So I wanted to bring that to your attention. At this time, I will open myself for any question. I hope I proved to you last year that any question is okay. And following our questions, we'll take a break. The restrooms, as you know, are to my left, your right. There are break refreshments on both ends of this floor. So we invite you to continue the interaction. But before we go on break, okay, the one question somebody's going to ask is between you and the break. But I need to give you an opportunity. What questions do you have about our program overview for voices? Questions or comments at this time? Okay, I knew did that wrong because you're ready to go on break. I will be here, and it's important that we continue effective communication. So I'll be available to you all day. We're on a break. Please reconvene at 9:30. Please be back in your seats at 9:30 so we can begin the next work we're going to do. Thank you very much.
For the aha moments that what it is that our team really, oh my gosh, we never realized that during this past year. And just to be different, let's go backwards in the alphabet and start with rewards and benefits. Where are y'all? Do you have a aha person? Can people hear him? I think you all should come up to the mic. Okay.
Why we're doing this. Oh, why?
You know, I just was asked to say a little bit about why we would do aha moments. A learning organization pays attention to the things that it learns as it goes along and gets stronger from them. We know that each of these teams, as they started to work, went through a phase of, oh my gosh, this is confusing. Well, what is it that we're supposed to do? And why won't they let us do what we want to do, or things like that? And that somewhere during the year, some light bulb went on for the team. And we think that if we pay attention and learn from each other, we'll move forward that much more quickly. Okay, so this is rewards and benefits. I have here Jerry Walker. Oh, I have half the team. I'm just going to get out of the way.
Well, I was pretty amazed to find out that as one of the rewards that we have as a university staff member, we go through uniquely Michigan and find that we have discounts on automobiles. Now, as a commuter of the last 20 years, I think that's pretty substantial for me, because and it should be for U of M members altogether. Take advantage of those substantial discounts. So, when you buy your new car, remember, you can save on that by driving to the van pool, parking lot, taking the van to work, reducing the parking strain, and help the parking team out.
Well, I learned it from Terry that when you go out look for apartment, if you flash the M card, we get 15% discount. Use that M card, please. Flash it everywhere, every store you go.
I learned that housing had their annual forum in October of 2005, and we are still getting good feedback. People are still listening and learning. Thank you.
I have learned that our voices are being heard, and we have been able to change some policy for the M card and be looking for a lot more discounts. We're going to be helping them out.
I would say that my first aha came at the first core meeting with Mary Sue Coleman, and she was asking for input about actually stem cell research, and I went, aha. This group is a perfect group to do that, you know, because it was so representative of the entire University of Michigan community. And that keeps happening. Every time we have a meeting that they say, oh, this is a great group to go to, this is a great group to go to, we just keep saying, aha, this was such a great idea. Where's Laurita? What a good idea this was.
Well, while I always knew that we had good benefits here at the University of Michigan, I didn't realize how good they were. And in being part of this team, you learn how difficult and challenging it is sometimes to make changes to those benefits or to make substantial changes to them, because it is such a huge area. But our benefits here are very competitive. Our premiums are very competitive to our peer institutions, and it really is amazing what we do get here, and I think more people need to be made aware of that.
My aha moments came every meeting. As all my co-team members have said, each moment was an aha moment for me. I learned something so much from every meeting, from sharing with all these people and hearing feedback from everybody, coming back from the core group, coming back from other team members and their groups.
So the next would be recognition and performance management.
You thought we were going to overwhelm you, right? During one of our lookouts, we found that most universities have performance management programs. Why don't we?
We also learned that recognition and performance management cannot be separated. They have to be both together, and that it is more than just the yearly appraisal, and it's an integral part of performance management.
When we did our look-in, we found out that there's a lot of diverse performance management programs. The medical center has one, Plant has an excellent one, but we also found there were many, many units that have no performance management programs at all. Plus, we found that some have funds to help with their recognition, while others don't.
And lastly, we learned that we have a resident artist within our group, Susan Mann.
Wonderful. The next group is parking and transportation.
Great. As a group, we just came up with one aha moment. It wasn't, unfortunately, adding more parking around campus. We all want that. But our aha moment is actually a culture change at the university. People have to just start looking at alternative transportation and ways to get to work, and adopting that, not just looking at it, just actually start doing it on a day-to-day basis.
And I might add that the parking and transportation group are responsible for the theme of today, getting on the bus, and for our style of communication with the president later this morning. So you guys are doing a lot. Health and wellness.
That was cute. Yeah, that was cute. That was very cute. Hi, representing Health and Wellness. We had many aha moments, of course, as we all have. But when we were charged with going out, finding all these health resources for mental, physical, and emotional health resources, everyone went out and came back. And what we realized that right here at the university, we had just about all the resources we needed. Everything was right here in our own backyard. But our question was, well, how will we get this information out to everyone else? So therefore, we began to scour all of the departments, the web, and every resource we could find. And then we found out that there's just so many resources that already exist at the university, though in the community as well. And we would like to figure out, well, how will we get this out to the community? How will they know about the emotional and mental health resources, about the physical, the child care, ergonomics, assistance programs, rec sports, you move, everything to help faculty and staff to improve their health and well-being. And another aha moment came when we also realized that, well, there's a lot of other aspects to health and wellness. What about work-life balance? That's very, very integral. And we were very honored to be part of a initiative to help a gradual back-to-work program for new parents, and we realized, how can we help to make this happen? So a lot of great aha moments came, and we were also very privileged to be part of Active U as an advisory and consulting team. We're very proud to see a lot of the ideas that we recommended to be implemented in a lot of the programs in the Healthy Michigan, Michigan Healthy Communities, and the team, they're just great, and we all learn from each other. We are part of a great team of people from a lot of wonderful departments: neurosurgery, MWorks, rec, public health, food and nutrition, FASAP, just endless healthy and wellness departments and communication. And the greatest aha came when we realized that we were a great team working together. We really can make a difference here. And of course, Michigan is a great place to work. Thank you.
Okay, faculty and staff communication.
What a group, and that support is great. At the beginning, we tried to define what positive faculty-staff relationships might look like, and we began to look at best practices in this area. Our aha moment came as a result of this exploration, and surprisingly from one of our faculty partners. We knew that faculty and staff had different cultures, but we didn't know exactly how to identify the cultures or to describe them. So here are some of our realizations. We realized that faculty identify with a discipline, with a focus on research and teaching. We realized that faculty do not get promoted or succeed as groups. Faculty members, closest colleagues may be at other universities and not just at U of M. We also realized that faculty are under pressures that most staff are not aware of, for example, securing grant funding, publishing journal articles and books. But we also realized that the staff identify with the university, and we are asked to work and perform as teams, and we have organizational roles and responsibilities. So we realized that in the context of achieving the university's mission, neither role is superior, they're just different. And we also realized that staff are not faculty wannabes. They are a core resource in getting the job done. So we feel that understanding each other's roles and purposes can open the door to better communication and to provide an enhanced work environment for faculty and staff. Thanks.
And career development.
We brainstormed as a group and came up with a list of what I'm calling the unforgettable 13. Unforgettable. Okay. Our aha moments came as, I'll just read them all off in the listing. How decentralized U of M campus is in practices and philosophies. What a gatekeeper, the manager, and the supervisor is in promoting or blocking an employee's career development. That there is some funding out there for career development. We just need to identify and tap on those sources. We learned how decisions are made through some of our efforts. We learned survey and interview design and practices, and that was significant for us because, you know, we're developing a business case survey that we're going to be sending out to 100 peer institutions, and we wanted to make sure that the questions that we're going to be asking are the right questions for what we want for the right response. Diversity in career development practices, some are very supportive and budget friendly, where we know that others are not. Various career development resources available for staff, faculty, and even students, but we found they're not coordinated or known to the general U of M community. So a little bit more advertising on what we know that we have available to them would be helpful. Through each team member's career stories, each of us told our own personal stories, and the common theme was that to move forward and grow, a leap of faith was needed. You know, someone met a defining moment. Many of you in here in the room probably hit a defining moment where you took a leap of faith to make a change, and we know that to be a common. Through our own stories, we discovered that no one ended up where they thought they would be and became aware of new opportunities along the way. So, you know, Many of us, even I only thought I was going to be here 4 to 7 years, and here I am 27 years later, I'm still here. From our stories, in many cases, someone mentored us, inspired, and invested in us to grow. So when many of us learned that we can't do these things alone, that everyone at some point in their lives needs some help and assistance. And by working with a very diverse group of individuals, there is so much talent that's present, that's contributing to the U of M success. With all of you people here in the room here, knowing that your interest is the positive interest in the direction of the university, there's no doubt in my mind that we'll get there. May not be as timely as some of you would desire it, but we'll get there. 2 last ones, our eyes were opened very wide when working with others across the campus. We had realizations in learning about other programs from people that we invited to our committee meetings and learned about their program. And then lastly, never say never. You never know where you'll end up or what you'll be doing.
Just to be sure, if there's anybody in the room that had an aha that didn't get expressed and it's just bursting from your lips, I'd love to hear. This is your chance. Okay, I guess we learned a lot this year, and that's pretty wonderful. You got one.
With our performance management, we found out Ohio State is so much further ahead than we ever thought of being.
I heard they also have a university level of high-powered people on work-life balance committee there, too. Okay. Anyone else that has an aha? That was wonderful. How about some applause for yourselves?
Thanks to each of the teams. The one team introduced Suzanne as an artist. You'll see her work downstairs when you get to see our poster displays and the interaction that's going on the 3rd floor. Someone also asked me, why did you get 2 copies of the inaugural report? I do want you to share the 2nd copy with your manager, supervisor, director, whoever has supported your release time in participating in Voices. Because you and I both know that even though the president, the EOs, myself have invested so much in this, if we start to hear a buzz about, is it worth releasing you, it'll be a bigger challenge. So it's really important that we keep our managers on board with the return on investment to the university community of your contribution. They may or may not feel it at work. Many of you have said the skills and experience you've gained going to career development workshops, the conference, you've brought back to work. But more than that, you're making a contribution to the entire university community, and we need to keep our managers on board with that as we continue our work. Also, what I've learned over time is that if you truly value something as an organization, you will take time to celebrate it. If we truly value your contribution, which we absolutely do, it's important to take time to recognize that. Part of that is today, and so I want to acknowledge and thank many of you, all of you in one way, and some of you in some special ways. I just saw Scott come back in the room. He was away when I was going to say this, so I'm glad that we have Scott here today. The Voices of the Staff video that you saw is actually a compilation we borrowed from many other videos that exist in the university to put together Voices of the Staff. And when I was talking with Scott, because we've worked on so many projects together, he actually was involved in the videos that we borrowed from and put this one together. So I want to thank Scott from BMC. Thank you so much. Now, I would like who we are calling the inaugural team of Voices, those that have been with us for a year. You are the 2005 inaugural team as a whole. If you would stand, and there are people at your desks, at your tables, that are going to present you with my token of appreciation to you, And I asked the facilitators to follow my belief. I read you a poem last year that is one of the things I truly believe in, is that everyone has a gift, everyone has a talent, everyone is an expert at something. And so your individual certificates will celebrate your individual gift and talent to voices. And you can talk to your facilitators about the choice, but I signed all of them that came to me. So the inaugural team, would you please stand and receive our congratulations for being a part of a history-making process at the university. The inaugural team, all of you that have been with us for a year. You will receive my thank you in an appreciation token, and you will receive certificates, and they're coming to you right now. Good. So as you develop those stories for grandchildren and significant others, you've been a part of the history of the University of Michigan. Thank you to the inaugural team. You can always know you've been part of history at the University of Michigan. I'd like to acknowledge our facilitators and advisors. I'd like all facilitators and advisors that are present today to stand. They are the ones who have made sure that we have moved forward in our work. All of our facilitators and advisors have met criteria for performing this function. They've met the requirements that we developed on our journey, and they've come together, in addition to meeting with you, they've come together with me and the program management team to make sure that we did our work effectively. Departing from the team this year, and she did it in such an auspicious way, Denise White is the facilitator for one very special team here. Yesterday, many of you know that she was ordained as a minister while we were doing this work. She was on the pulpit at church yesterday. In her passion to reach a soul, she stepped off that first step and kept going. So Denise is at home. Please do send her a note. She is absolutely heartbroken that she's not here. As you know, she's retiring from the university and moving next month. And so she just cried and cried and cried on the phone last night about missing you today. She is departing as our facilitator, retiring from the university and moving to Wisconsin. So please do keep her in your thoughts, but she really made a big contribution. Also stepping down from this group is Kristen Story, who made a fantastic contribution. She too believes that it's important to bring on new talent, new faces, new gifts, and so she's making room for that. We thank you, Kristen, so much for your contribution. We're welcoming to new for 2006, new facilitators, Steve Brabs. Wave if you're here, thank you. Laurita Nix, Karen Dickinson, Tracy Tammer, and Jamie Todd. Jamie, welcome aboard. Thank you so very much. We couldn't get our work done without support of the faculty, and we have faculty advisors, particularly to a faculty and staff communications team. Departing this year are Carmen Green and Phil Hanlon. Continuing this year are Jane Dutton and Dale Lefevre, and we are so appreciative of the contribution they've made. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. We are welcoming 37 new people to Voices this year. Would all of you that are joining Voices the first time today, would you please stand and be acknowledged for volunteering? Thank you so much. You have enriched us by your volunteerism, and we know the university community will be even greater because of your wealth. The wealth of experience